Tian, thanks for coming to Malaysia, right, and really taking this opportunity to sit down with us, with the PyCon team as well, for just a really kind of like a quick conversation regarding Python, software development world, and of course on the community as well, right? We are really thrilled to have you here. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. So I have with here Claire, who's also the host for this particular session. So I'm Max. I've been with PyCon for 3 years plus already.
Okay.
3 years plus. And Claire, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Siow, and I'm actually part of the publicity team for this PyCon Malaysia. I'm also one of the committee members for PyLadies Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So nice. Right. So I think before we go straight to the questions, right? Would you like to tell the community who you are and where you're from? And
Sure.
Yeah.
So my name's Tian, and I'm currently unemployed. I'm traveling the world now, and I am a part of the Python community. I am a Python core developer, which means I have the right privilege to the Python repository itself. I am the maintainer of PDB, and I also work on a lot of tracing, monitoring, and profiling related stuff. I became a Python core dev last year, I believe. Yeah, that's mostly about my Python life. I also attended PyCon US this year and last year, and I am a speaker for both PyCon events. So I'm quite familiar with PyCon US, but not PyCon Malaysia.
Perfect. I think that's fantastic. But you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Oh,
tell
right.
us about that. Yeah.
I have a lot of different kinds of lives, and sometimes I mixed it a bit, and sometimes I do not. So yes, I am also a YouTuber, if you call it that. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's in Mandarin, and I have a Bilibili channel as well, also in Mandarin, and I share some contents about Python, about technology, about my thoughts to the software development world on my YouTube channel and Bilibili channel, and sometimes I do some really random stuff as well. And recently, I'm just posting my vlogs about me traveling the world on both channels, so no tech contents recently, but I believe in 2 or 3 months I'll restart posting Python related contents.
I think that's really impressive, right? Juggling. Although I know you're unemployed now, but instead you juggle between your career in Microsoft and then having this YouTube channel as well. It's really something that's not really easily done, right?
Well, it depends. People have lives outside of work, right? Everyone has a life outside of work, and they do different things. Like I always said, some people play video games, right? And some people play sports. They play basketball, things like that. And for me, those things that I just mentioned are just part of my leisure time, my life outside of work. So even outside of work, I like to program a bit because my work is not my work was not directly related to Python, and I like Python, so that's using my other part of brain. And also the YouTube channel, that's also part of my life. It's like when others are playing video games, I make videos. So it's a very similar concept, and of course it's because the job at Microsoft gave me some time to do things on my own. It's not like it's taking 70-80 hours of my time weekly. So yeah, I think it's a little of both. So Microsoft is providing enough personal time for me, and also I do this instead of some other things people do normally. So it looks like, okay, this guy is making videos, this guy is contributing to the open source world, but it's actually just part of my hobbies.
Fantastic. So you spoke of video games at one point of the conversation, right? So what's that one aha moment where you kind of decided that you want to write code as a career or for your life?
I don't know. I mean, when I go to college, I am actually an electrical engineer, and I started programming when I was really young, probably 12, 13 or something. And I started with Visual Basic, and then I picked up C and C++, but it's just very simple stuff for like building games, like simple games like that. And then I think I just followed the path. So I went to United States and got my master's there as in electrical and computer engineering, and I got a job which required me to write software, and then it just happened. I don't think there was a moment in my life when I decided, okay, this is gonna be my career. I don't think so. I think it's follow the path, and gradually I think, oh, I kind of like this, and also it makes money, and then I just decided to, do this for my life.
My next question is, we have seen from your GitHub that you are a prolific creator for the open source project, which is the VizTracer and Object Print. So what's the feeling of releasing a tool and seeing the community news and build around it?
Yeah, so VizTracer is one of my successful open source projects. I have built plenty of stuff before that, mostly websites and stuff, and it was not successful. And when I look back into those projects, I was like, okay, I'm not good with front end. So I build ugly websites and people do not like it. So it's like, okay, I'll build something that requires little front end development. That's when I started to look into development tools. So tools for developers. Developers do not care about the UI that much. They want to, the functionality. So I started VizTracer, and it became a very successful project because I think it fills some blank in the Python development world where there is no visualizer for program execution, and that's not even a concept that a lot of people understood. Like when I firstly released VizTracer, people thought, okay, this was flame graph, but it was not flame graph. It was something that looks like a flame graph, and people just did not realize you can visualize programs like this. So I built VizTracer because I needed it, and it turns out I'm not the only one. A lot of the other people need it as well. And then when you build a tool, you hope others using it. That's just a source of pride, I guess. And gradually, people started to raise issues and make pull requests. And when I followed the the news of VizTracer, I found that a few giant companies are using it in their code base as well. I know there are teams at Microsoft using it, and I know there are teams in AWS using it. I think Meta, some teams are using it, and it's really interesting that probably after a few months, I joined Microsoft. The team that was using VizTracer contacted me internally and asking, oh, are you the author of VizTracer? I was like, yes, and they were like, okay, we have a problem with VizTracer and it does not support our latest stuff, things like that. I was like, okay, I can release a version for you. I'll fix this and make it work for you. And then basically I fixed the issue and released it. And for my unknown colleagues at Microsoft, so there was a moment you will remember that because it's an individual product. It's a different feeling than developing CPython. CPython is a very mature project that millions of users are already using it. You are very proud that you write some code that people use, but it's not because of you, it's because of CPython. You are part of CPython. But for VizTracer, it's like, this is a tool I built basically from scratch, and people are using it, and this is a completely different kind of feeling for like individual projects like VizTracer.
Did this project, at some point of time in your career, catapult you to greater heights during your career with Microsoft?
You mean, did it help with?
Yeah, did it like bring you to greater heights during your career in Microsoft?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So I actually built VizTracer before I joined Microsoft,
Exactly.
and I don't think it has anything to do with my joining Microsoft, because I joined Microsoft as more like a low-level software engineer. I work on Windows, on the kernel side, so it has nothing to do with Python. When my first team at Microsoft, they build kernel drivers for Windows, and they do not use Python at all. I don't think VizTracer helped that much. I mean, at least not directly, but it definitely triggers the interest for Python for me. I was like, when I was building VizTracer, I had to learn a lot of Python internals to make it work. And I was like, oh, this is a very interesting language. And after a few years, I got more familiar with Python itself, and I just started to thinking about whether I should contribute to CPython. So even though VizTracer did not help that much in my career per se, I still believe that it started my contribution to CPython, which later on, I didn't expect my contribution to CPython to help me in my career, but it turns out it did. So after I became the core developer for a few months or after a year, I realized that it helped in my resume, and companies are asking about that, and HRs are curious about that, and some people even managers will reach out directly because you are a core developer of CPython. So that definitely helped.
I see. Fantastic. So before we go deeper into the questions related to Python and everything, let's ask you a little bit about take us through your programming setup. What IDEs do you use? What kind of productivity tools that you use?
Okay, so I almost exclusively use VS Code. The initial reason is that I need an editor that works on a lot of different languages. I still build some small tools in JavaScript. I have an open source project of that for Bilibili, and I work a lot on Python. And when I work on CPython, I also work on C. So I want a single editor that works on everything, every single language, every single project. And VS Code is a great option for that. And there are a lot of extensions in VS Code, but I use a lot of the official ones where everyone uses, just like the Python package thing or the C++ package thing. I do not use very unique or special extensions. I do not have a very interesting setup for my IDE. I even use the default color theme and the default font for my IDE. There are some rationales behind it, like when you move from device to device, everything will be the same. That's probably a rationality behind this, but it's probably just I'm lazy and that does not affect me that much. The only thing that that is probably a little bit different than most people is that I use the Vim plugin, just because I'm so used to all the Vim input, and I think that is a very fast way to write code. And yeah, that's the only thing that's probably a little bit special.
Cool. You want to ask the next set of questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask, because I heard that you are a main contributor for the CPython. So can you walk us through what is CPython, and is it a way for us to increase the performance of the Python, of the existing Python, and make it more faster?
Okay, so the question is a little bit big, right? Okay, so first of all, you said I was a main contributor. No, I'm not.
No.
I am a contributor to CPython. I'm a core developer, but I cannot categorize myself as a main contributor to CPython. I think there are close to 3,000 contributors in CPython now. It's still growing. It's a very active and a live community. And there are a lot of people who have been working on CPython for more than 10 or even 20 years, and I think they are the main contributor. I'm only working with CPython for 2-3 years, so I'm still pretty new. And you asked why CPython, right? I think, well, actually, a lot of people have asked me the question, like, why you are interested in CPython? Why CPython specifically? How can I become interested in CPython? I was like, okay, so if you like basketball, you'll know it when you like shoot your first basket for the very first time, right? When you like hold the ball, you know, okay, I like this game. And it's the same for me for Python or CPython. I don't know why I'm interested in it, but I know I'm interested in it. I know I liked it. I know I like the grammar of it. I like writing code in it, and I like to make it better. That's something that I know when I start working on it for the first time. And there are some reasons that I decided to devote more of my time into CPython. For example, it's the most popular programming language in the world now. It's the #1 popular language, programming language in the world, and no doubt. And it has been for a few years. And it's even growing now because of AI, of course. And there are millions of users using it. It's probably in a few years it's gonna be 10 million. And it's just like having the feeling like, okay, I wrote some code that millions of users are using is really cool. That's actually one of the reasons that I decided to work on CPython itself. Is just like, oh, do you use Python? Like, I wrote some code in it. That's the reason at the very beginning. And you also asked about, is it difficult or possible, or what are there to make Python faster? Well, first of all, I believe it's possible, and there was a team dedicated to that. It's called Faster CPython team. Tech lead is Mark Shannon, and Guido was kind of part of it, and there are a few other core developers to do that. And the team was laid off by Microsoft this year, and I don't know. There are reasons. It was more difficult than they expected. They thought they can make it 5 times faster in 4 years, and they didn't. It was about 1.5 times faster. It's not too bad, but it's not that great. But they did a lot of work in CPython to make it possible to be faster in the future. So there are a few ways to make CPython faster, right? One of the most discussed thing is JIT, and it's not that easy. So it's very simple to JIT some code that is designed for some micro benchmark. So for example, I can like write a for loop, a very simple for loop, and I can JIT it, and it can be, I don't know, 50 times faster than the CPython itself. That's easy. That's too simple. But it's not trivial to make it much faster in almost all benchmarks and keep the same speed for some important use cases, especially like scripts. So you just can't JIT every single code because there is a cost to JIT your code, to like basically compile them into bytecode and everything. There's a cost to that. So people mention PyPy, and yes, PyPy is faster than CPython in some code, but it's not always faster than CPython, and the warm-up time is normally larger for compared to CPython. So JIT is not the silver bullet. The CPython team is working on JIT, and well, according to Brent Booker, who was working on, basically who was the person working on JIT, it's now 0% slower than no JIT version. So we can enable JIT without any significant cost or observable cost now. It's not great, but it's not too bad either. So at least it's not slower. So you can enable it, and I believe it's an experimental feature in 3.13 and 14. You can probably enable that now. I think 3.13 not shipped by default. 3.14 I think it was shipped by default, so you can basically use an X switch to enable it. You can try it out. It's not that faster, but we are still trying to improve it. And we are also doing something on the interpreter itself to try to make it much faster. Kenjin worked on a tail, what's that thing called? The recursive optimization on CLAN, which makes it faster in some build on some benchmarks. And we have seen a single-digit performance improvement on benchmarks, which is pretty great. And it's just we need a lot of support from the community because there's no big company behind this. Like people always ask, why can't CPython be like V8 of JavaScript, right? Like they can make JavaScript so much faster. Why can't CPython? It's because we have limited resources. Like V8, like Google is behind V8, and they put a lot of resources into making it much faster. And the CPython currently does not have that much resource. We are like making efforts now, but it takes time. And also we care a lot about backwards compatibility. We do not want to break users' code. We also do not want to make the existing code significantly slower. So that's actually the boundary, the limitation. So yes, you can make some code much faster and some code slower, but we do not want the slower part. We just want to make like things absolutely better. So it's a step-by-step thing. But there's another piece of performance, and of course, it's skill. So we all know that CPython is, I guess, notorious for having a global interpreter lock, which limits its multi-core capability to improve the performance of a multi-threading code. And we have a very significant progress on that, which is the PEP 703, I think. We're trying to remove GIL from CPython. And we have a build that is officially supported in Python 3.14. that people can try it. So that version does not have GIL and is only about 10% slower for single process, single thread code compared to the GIL version, which is actually great, which is very amazing. So that part we actually had some progress, and I guess if you can improve the performance of your code horizontally, which means your task can be divided into multiple individual small tasks, like handled by different cores, your program can run much faster in that way in the no-GIL version. I think the official name is free-threaded version. So people can try it out. And we have a good faith in that. And we believe, well, by we, I meant almost all the core devs, especially people from Meta who are working on it. We believe that it will be part of CPython in a few years, and it will become the default version of CPython a little bit longer after that.
Right. So as an ex-senior engineer in Microsoft, right, what do you see as a single most important skill that a junior Python developer, to be successful in the current and also the future job markets, just like beyond writing clean code?
It's a very interesting question because I don't think I'm a very successful engineer career-wise. I think I'm a pretty good example of engineers participating in open source projects, but career-wise, I'm not that great. I've never experienced a promotion into the senior band because I worked at a smaller company, Green Hill Software, for 8 years, and then I left. I joined Microsoft as a senior engineer. I mean, I can talk about like general things or things people are always talking about, like impacts, right, and owning components, things like that. But I think mostly like when you devote into your work, when you like do your job, and when you talk with your manager a lot, this becomes pretty natural. And different managers have different expectations for for junior software engineers and senior software engineers. So I guess if you really want promotions fast, you should talk with your manager and see their expectation of you. Do they want you to own some components in the code base? Do they want you to make a large impact? Do they want you to become an expert in a specific area? Do they want you to, I guess, communicate more with partner teams, like have impact outside of your own team? I guess, because most of the time, the people who make decisions of whether you can become a senior software engineer are just one or two people. Is your manager or like a maximum your skip manager, and it's not like a staff level thing. So from my experience, just work and talk and try to meet the expectation, and if you failed, just work for another company.
Perfect. Before we continue with the conversation, let's take a 5-minute break and we'll come back to it.